We are here for an exciting and important announcement. Progressive Maryland and Working Families Party are proud to jointly endorse Will Jawando for Montgomery County Executive. This is a moment for us to celebrate the power of progressive values, grassroots organizing, and coalition building. Together, we are shaping a brighter and more equitable future for Montgomery County. So we've got an incredible lineup of speakers today who are going to share why this endorsement is so significant and why we know that Council Vice President Will Jawando is the leader we need. And our very first speaker is going to be our own Executive Director, Larry Stafford.
Okay, I'm doing it with this microphone. Okay, this is a good press conference. We got more than one microphone. All right, I'm Larry Stafford, Jr., the Executive Director of Progressive Maryland, and I am more than proud to be joined here today from our partners. We're a chapter of Working Families Party here in Maryland, so bringing in some of our national partners together on this endorsement is really exciting because of the work that we're going to do to make sure that Will gets elected. And so first, to why we're endorsing Councilmember Jawando. For me, it starts from the fact of the crisis that we're facing in this country at the national level, which I'm sure our partners with Working Families Party will speak to as well, but also a crisis that we see here locally. We have many crises in this country, but one of the central themes that we see over and over again driving elections is this crisis around affordability. I think people here with me and who will be seeing this in the press know that the rent has been too damn high for too long. But not only that, our grocery prices, the cost of being able to buy your first home, the cost of being able to educate your children or even educate yourself, the cost of childcare. These are the types of issues that are mobilizing folks in ways where they're feeling frustration around the country. And it's resulted in a crisis we have at the federal level, but right here in Montgomery County as well, where costs have gone up astronomically. And why we're endorsing Will Jawando is because he has been one of the primary leaders in this fight to make sure that Montgomery County is more affordable for everyone. And we want to thank him for that. Because I happen to know that that is not an easy thing, because we have a lot of Democrats, of course, here in Montgomery County. We've got Democrats on the county council. They're all Democratic county council, county executive. We've got Democrats in the legislature. But I think there's an important distinction we have to make between Democrats who have a backbone and Democrats who have a spine to stand up straight and walk straight and look with a clear vision to fight on behalf of everyday people. And that's Councilmember Will Jawando. And I say it's not easy, not only because it's not easy to sometimes stand up in that kind of way, but it's primarily not easy because you're gonna face resistance. You're gonna face the real estate lobby, the apartment owners, all manner of large corporations who extract their wealth out of these high costs. They're not gonna be supporting Will Jawando. Well, hopefully some of them will see beyond their own naked self-interest, right? But they know that in Will, he's not somebody who's going to back down, not someone who is going to equivocate when it comes to the lives of everyday people. He's going to stand up for us, not the millionaires, not the billionaires who want to raise the cost of living here. And so that's why we're excited to endorse him. And we're going to be working hard to make sure that he is victorious. And we've seen what can happen in New York. We see what can happen in Minnesota. We see what happens in Seattle, Boston, as well in other cities where progressives are winning on this message of change and with track records to be able to back that up. And it's going to happen right here in Montgomery County. And so I'm ready to get to work to fight for Will Jawando because he's ready to fight for us. All right, and with that, I'll bring up Vidal Hines with Working Families Party.
How y'all doing today? No, I'm not hearing y'all. I said, how are y'all doing today? All right, okay, that's what I want to hear. But I'm going to need more than that. So I'm going to say PMD, and I want y'all to say WFP. PMD? WFP. PMD? WFP. PMD? WFP. That's what I want to hear. And those are the people coming out today to support Councilmember Will Jawando from Montgomery County Executive. Please, can I get another PMD? There we go. My name is Vidal Hines. I'm the Regional Senior Political Director for Working Families Party. And we're here today because we have an advocate, a leader, a champion who we believe can take Montgomery County into these new times that we're facing. My colleague, Larry Stafford from Progressive Maryland, made some amazing points about the reality of our county right now, about what's going on. Everything from federal layoffs to housing prices to infrastructure to affordability in regards to childcare. This region is changing, and we need a leader who's not just going to do rhetoric, who's not just going to give lip service, but who's really going to do the work. Well, how do you know that? How do you know he's going to actually do what he says he's going to do? Because he's been doing it. Whether it's been around housing, whether it's been around racial justice, criminal justice, you name it, Will has stepped up and has taken the lead. I told him yesterday, one of the things I really respect about him, and part of the reason why I was like, look, Working Families, we have to get in here, we have to endorse him, because Will's not afraid of hard conversations. And far too often, we get people elected who are scared to act. I'm not going to say any names, but I'm sure images have come to mind. The point here today is that not only are we endorsing and saying that we're going to support Will Jawando, but we're going to put in the work. Just like we did in New York with Mamdani Sarani, we're going to do the exact same thing here. We are going to put in the field time, the calls, the digital, whatever it takes, because we know big money interest is going to spend in this race. We know the developers are going to spend in this race. We know corporate interest is going to spend in this race because they want to keep things as they are. And that is not what we're going to do. That's not where we're going. And that's why today, Working Families, Progressive Maryland, and other organizations coming soon are going to get out here and endorse and support Will. So please, y'all, can we get a round of applause and a recognition for Will Jawando running for County Executive from Montgomery County.
All right, thank you so much, Vidal. Thank you to Working Families Party, an amazing partner to us here in Maryland. You know, this wouldn't be a Progressive Maryland press conference without hearing voices from the community. We are a power organization. We organize working class people all over this state. And so I'm extremely honored to next introduce a very good friend of mine, an incredible leader, somebody who has taken risks that not too many people in this room have taken. And that is the president of the Enclave Tenant Association, Tania Chestnut.
Good evening, everybody. As Max said, I am the president of the Enclave Tenant Association. We are in White Oak, Silver Spring. I am here on behalf of the tenants across Montgomery County, those who work every day to make sure housing is safe, affordable, and dignified. We've seen firsthand how difficult it can be for renters dealing with unsafe living conditions, unfair practices, and negligent landlord. I say boo to them. Boo. Housing justice is not just an idea. It's a fight for our neighbors, for our families, and for the right to remain in our homes. Will Jawando has always been a champion for us and an ally that we can depend on. Thank you. This man here, he truly cares about Montgomery County. This man here truly cares about residents. Residents being housed. He also pushed for conversations about making sure the housing is affordable, accessible, and safe. How important is that? How important is that? Very important. He has consistently fought to protect renters from negligent landlords. I know, I get tongue-tied. I have a mint in my mouth. I apologize. Sorry, I got it. And to hold those in powerful positions accountable for their actions. Thank you. At the Enclave, oh, I'm sorry, my vice president, where are you at? Come on. Come on out here. My vice president here, Pascal Lemaire. Of course, we're a team. Thank you.
Yes, always. It takes a village.
We have fought with our tenants to make sure that we have better conditions. And we will continue to fight. Throughout fighting, Will Jawando has stood with us. He has listened to us. He has worked to make sure that other people has heard us. He has made sure that he has co-sponsored bills to help us, to help Montgomery County, and to help you. And most importantly, he has showed up.
Yes, he has. He has walked the buildings.
Renters across Montgomery County are striving for better. We deserve better.
Yes.
We want better.
Yes.
This man here can help us get better. We need those better conditions. We need to stay in our homes. We need to be able to raise our families. We need to live with dignity.
Yes.
This is why we stand here. We stand here with him, Will Jawando, and we hope that he is elected the next county executive. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much to Tania and to Pascal as well. Next up, we are going to hear from another proud Progressive Maryland member, as well as an elected official in her own right. Please welcome Rockville City Councilwoman Isola Shaw.
Good afternoon. I'm Zola Shaw, and I'm honored to serve the City Council. I know what it means to stand up for working families and to fight for opportunity and fairness in our community. Councilmember Will Jawando leads with vision, creativity, always searching for new ways to improve the lives of everyday people. His steady commitment to justice and equity isn't just talk. It reflects that in every decision he makes and every project he takes on. What's remarkable about Will is how deeply he cares about making sure working families aren't left behind. And I want to share something personal. Like so many others, I lost my federal job during the mass firings under this Trump administration. I worked in the federal government for over 2 decades. It was a rough time for my family and thousands across our county. And the day that I received my layoff notice, hundreds of Montgomery County residents also received their notice. He led the effort to pass a bill that gave laid off federal workers a real shot at county jobs by giving us a hiring preference. For me and so many others, that meant hope at a moment when we truly needed it the most. Will doesn't just talk about supporting our federal employees like countless of other politicians throughout Montgomery County. He puts those words into action. So, Will wants Montgomery County to be a place where everyone can succeed. He listens, he learns, and he acts, always with the need of real people in mind. Montgomery County needs a leader like Will, who will always put working people first. And I am so proud to stand and support Will Jawando for County Executive.
All right. Are you all ready to hear from the man himself? Yes. Now, I have the difficult job of introducing the council vice president. He's got a pretty long list of credentials here. Let me tell you a bit about him. He says shorten it. I don't know about that. Councilmember Jawando is an attorney, an activist, a community leader with a lifelong dedication to public service. He was born in a low-income household right here in Montgomery County. His platform is based on what he calls the MoCo Promise, something he believes all Montgomery County residents are entitled to: a safe, vibrant, and inclusive community with great schools and a strong economy. Now, I want to also take a point of personal privilege as your MC and tell you my story about Will, which is that this man, during the COVID crisis, saved lives. It was serious. I remember being here during COVID and seeing now Council Vice President Jawando fighting for a rent freeze in this county. That saved lives. It wasn't just an idea. People would have died. And they were able to survive a mass crisis because of the vision and the leadership of this man right here. And so I personally could not be more proud as a Silver Spring resident, a Montgomery County resident, to turn the mic over to your next county executive, Council Vice President Will Jawando.
Thank you so much, Max. Thank you to everybody for being here, to Councilmember Shaw, to the mighty, now they may be short in stature, but they are not short in energy, and the Enclave Tenants Association, Pascal and Tanya, thank you. Larry, is Larry still in here? Okay, Larry, Vidal, thank you, Working Families, and to all the volunteers and supporters here. Let's give you guys a real big round of applause just for being here. This means a lot. I was getting a little emotional up here. I was surprised. I'm an old practiced person in this, and you guys got me. Because I really do care about this county, this community. this country. And there's a lot at stake right now. There's a lot at stake. I want to really thank Progressive Maryland for your deep work in our community for so many years, Working Families Party for your deep work across the country and in this region for this very powerful joint endorsement, a first, I think, of these two entities. I don't know, maybe not, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it's a first. The organizations, you don't just talk about progressive values. You live them out, you organize around them, you lift up policies and people and fight to make them reality. You mobilize working families across this region and across the country. Tanya, thank you again for your powerful words. When tenants are facing unfair rent increases and unsafe living conditions, and I'm the first council member to ever live in a troubled property. I'll be the first county executive to live in a troubled property. If you don't know what that is, these are properties that are on a list the county keeps because they've had multiple violations for not being habitable, and roaches, mice, etc. I moved a whole bunch of times in my life in the Long Branch, Silver Spring community looking for habitable housing. So I know why it's so important. That's why I fight. I fight so that kids and families don't have to deal with that. Zola, thank you for your partnership and your voice. Rockville needs you, and the county council needs you. As I said, we're at a turning point. Just a few miles from here, a disturbed and vindictive president and Donald Trump has illegally fired over 4,000 of our county resident neighbors. They're attacking our public schools. They're taking food assistance away from people, literally food out of people's mouths. And they've declared war on our immigrant communities, who make up a third of our population here in Montgomery County. To make it worse, the tariffs are making the cost of living, which was already unbearable, even worse. And he's recklessly slashing government funding that's going to leave the counties and the states to try to step up and fill those holes, which we won't be able to do alone, but we have to do the best that we can. I have never been more proud to be the Vice President of Montgomery County Council, but mostly a Montgomery County resident, because we are a beacon of light in these very challenging times. We have an opportunity in this election and how we conduct ourselves over the next 9.5, 10 months of this primary to show a community where we reject the false narrative that if my neighbor can eat, that I can't eat. That if my neighbor does well and gets rental assistance, it's going to make my life worse. We can stand up for a community where everyone does well together and reject the divisiveness of Donald Trump. We can show what compassionate progressive leadership looks like. The residents of Montgomery County, as was said by so many speakers before, can count on me because I have a track record of standing up against the Trump administration, because when I first got elected, he was president then, unfortunately, and he's president again. And this is not just something I'm saying, it's something I've done, and it's something I will do. My career has been focused on standing up for people who need me to stand up for them. When I was at Catholic University, I founded the first NAACP chapter there because the workers at the university were saying they were getting wage theft and underpaid. As a council member, I led, along with a lot of people behind me, the efforts to first pass temporary rent stabilization during the pandemic, but then permanent rent stabilization in Montgomery County. It's not enough to resist. We must resist, because we are in a moment where resistance is required, but we have to have a bold agenda and be willing to build as well. We have to focus on our schools. I just was at 2 of our schools this morning as they're starting their second week back. And that starts by fully funding them, making sure our teachers have what they need, making sure every child, regardless of their zip code, has access to a meal, to a trusting, loving adult, to paraeducators and support staff that are well paid, well compensated, and supported, and not preparing them just for tests, but for life. We need development in our community. Yes, we do need development. Despite what you'll hear from some folks, we need more housing, but we need more affordable housing. And we need to do it in partnership with community, not to us, with us. For too long, big developers have called the shots, and we've seen our neighbors get pushed out. I've seen it in my own life, when we've moved 5 or 6 times in my early years trying to find affordable housing. We have to end that. We can partner with development, but in a smart way that's a good deal for residents, that produces affordability and quality. We don't have to trade. It's not all or nothing. It's not housing that you can't afford or bad housing. We can get a good deal. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. That's that same philosophy that Trump's using. It's all or nothing. It's my way or the highway. We can get a good deal. We have to fight for truly affordable housing, not charging $2,000 plus for a studio. I'm talking about housing that our teachers and our educators and our public servants, our seniors, our working families can actually afford. I believe the people in this room agree with me, hopefully you agree with me at home, that housing's a human right. And that it shouldn't be dependent on Wall Street profits. It's not a commodity for speculation. It's a home for over 40% of our residents who rent and those who are seeking to become homeowners as well. We need to support our small businesses and the backbone of our economy here in Montgomery County. These are entrepreneurs like my parents who create jobs. They know their customers' names, is your favorite deli, favorite dressmaker, and all those things. See, they're attacking us. They're trying to silence us. They deserve a county executive who will cut the red tape, make it easier to start and grow a business here, provide them real support, and help them to thrive, because small businesses, which make up 85% of our businesses, they hire most of our county residents. That's who we need to be supporting. And the great, you support them and you cut that red tape and you make it easier, that's good for all business and for all residents. Finally, we need to support our public servants. The county employees who keep Montgomery County running every single day. These are the people who maintain our parks, provide social services, keep our communities safe, our public safety officials, and they deliver essential services. They deserve a county executive. Where am I holding it?
Hold it more in the middle here.
In the middle. All right, who can hold a mic? All right. They deserve a county executive who values their work, respects their service, and ensures they have the resources they need to support our residents. That means we have to pay them a living wage, make sure that we are a model employer, that we're not doing a race to the bottom, and that we are giving the example for the private sector. And we must stand with organized labor to help create good paying jobs for every resident. That's not just rhetoric for me. That's why I was proud to pass the prevailing wage law in this county, to make sure, because I know when you build an economy from the bottom up, middle out, that helps everyone in our community. When working people thrive, Montgomery County thrives. Our community thrives. So every worker deserves a living wage, safe working conditions, and the right to organize. It's not a surprise that since Donald Trump took office, he's attacking systematically the right of workers to organize. We just had Labor Day, just 2 days ago. We celebrated the strides we've made to have safe working conditions, a 5-day work week, a weekend, labor protections. All of that's at stake, and we need to continue to move forward in that. This is what I call the Montgomery County Promise. I'm fighting for an affordable, inclusive community where everyone in it can succeed. Not just some, not just the wealthy and well-connected, but everyone. Working families, seniors, young people, people who were born here, and people who weren't born here. But for everyone who calls Montgomery County home. I think this partnership between Progressive Maryland and working families represents something really powerful. It shows that when we unite together with progressive, practical, compassionate solutions, when we organize, when we build coalitions with a big tent that everyone can be in across communities, we win. And as much as I'm flattered that everyone's here for me today, this isn't about just me. This is about everyone who's going to be running for county council and the municipal elections, and frankly, around the country, where we are at a moment in time where we need compassionate, progressive leaders. There's a reason the Democratic Party has an 18% approval rating. And I'm a proud Democrat, but we've forgotten in some places in this country what we're about. We were at our best when we stood up for working people. And that's what we're going to do here in Montgomery County. This is a movement for economic justice, for racial equity, for environmental sustainability, and most importantly, for human dignity. Together, we reject the notion that we can't have a thriving economy and pay workers a fair wage. We can do both. We're going to build a Montgomery County that works for every resident, where you don't have to choose between paying rent and buying medicine, where every child can walk safely to school, where small businesses flourish and union jobs provide pathways to the middle class, where we protect our environment while creating good-paying jobs, and where we welcome immigrants and refugees with open arms. This is our moment, this is our fight, this is our time to lead, and with your help, and with the power of this progressive and growing coalition, with the grassroots energy in this room and across our county, I know we will win. Thank you so much.
So I want to thank you all for coming. I believe the council vice president walked away with my notes. That's okay. No, it's all right. I got another copy. I just want to reiterate that Councilmember Jawando has been a tireless advocate for equity, justice, and progress in Montgomery County. You heard the words from the man himself. Is this our next county executive? I know that's right. Before we wrap up, I just want to thank all of our incredible speakers. Thank you to the press for being here today, and of course, all of you, the supporters, for being here as well. And so all members of the media, Will Jawando will be available for one-on-one interviews immediately following this program somewhere in this area. Come find us up here. And together we are going to build a movement for a better Montgomery County. Thank you all and have a great afternoon.